almost forgot to add us. Been that kind of a day around here, folks, around my parts, folks. But welcome to No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts. To my right is a man who is not a trade deadline victim, Dustin Henry. Dustin, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. It was a busy day at work. It was a surprising day at work. You and I were both putting stuff in the Discord. I'm telling you, people, if you're not over in the Discord yet, you got to get in there. There's a lot going on, especially today with the trade deadline looming. But I'm doing well. I was looking forward to this all night. Once some of the news broke today, I said, I can't wait to sit down with Ryan. I know he's going to have a lot to say. I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm still reeling a little bit.
I don't blame you.
Between my work day and between all the news, the trade deadline stuff today, we're gonna react to it. I will say this though, in regards to the Jets, I'm gonna have more to say on Just Endure the Suffering, which will be on the No Credentials Required YouTube channel at 9 p.m. tonight. So if you're a Jets fan or you're just an NFL fan in general, you want to come LOL at the Jets again, or you want to react to the trade in general, or if you're a Jets fan and you want to drown your sorrows or whatnot, come watch Just Endure the Suffering. Dan will be on with me. We'll be reacting to the trades, I should say, today with the New York Jets. But we're also going to react to the other trades that happened today and over the weekend, or throughout before the trade deadline. We'll also briefly react. I don't say briefly, but we'll have an abridged version of our weekly breakdown of Week 9 of the NFL. We'll talk about the Royal Retros, Cut the Breaks, Pick'em Challenge, standings. Spoiler alert, they did not change. And we'll talk about our favorite athlete to wear the number 80. We've got a comment in the comment section already. We'll get to that in just a moment. But just want to remind you to follow us. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. And you can also check out our other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, you can subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, and our host, which is on Podbean. And hit that notification bell on Twitter, our Twitter, and on our YouTube channel, so you know when our shows go live, when we have show clips that go up, and when we have general announcements. Tonight we are on the Belly Up Sports Twitter/X channel. So those of you who are watching, as we react to the shocking NFL trade deadline moves, we thank you. Please give us a follow on our social media accounts. Give us a listen to us on podcasts, all that stuff, and subscribe. And again, subscribe to our channels. Subscribe to our social media. Got to try to do more stuff on Instagram as the season goes along. I started doing what do I call it again? I call it something.
Oh, you're completely unbiased season rank
yes,
NHL
my totally fair and incredibly objective NHL power rankings. Yeah. I've been posting them on our Instagram and in our Twitter and on my personal Twitter as well. So check us out there on Instagram. Again, YouTube channel. We're going to post clips. We're going to post other things on there. As I kind of want to do a reaction to the World Series because let me tell you, I really didn't have any interest until Game 6 and 7, because for numerous reasons. But we're here to talk NFL. Oh, but before we do that, again, on the podcast side, got a little lost there. Got lost in the sauce.
Oh, man.
I'm crying on the inside.
Oh, man.
Rate, review on the podcast side, rate, review, and comment. 5-star rating. Leave a review on a podcast platform where you can review. We'll read them on the air. And then if you're on Spotify, leave us a comment. If you're watching this on replay tomorrow on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel, we'll have it up tomorrow morning around 10:30. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought about NFL Week 9. Let us know what you thought about the NFL trade deadline. And we're a live show on Tuesdays. Usually we're on at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, but the day I had to push it up to 6:45. We're also live Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, but not Dustin this Saturday. We'll tell you why in just a little bit. We're live Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we would love for you to participate if you're watching live. We'd love for you to participate if you're watching on replay. And I know, Dustin, I know today's been a whirlwind, but this sound always makes me feel so much better.
Oh man, Ryan, I know you hear it, and I know you're relieved it's not a dial tone. It is the chimes of chime time.
Let me hear you, brother. And like I said, we got comments in the comment section. Okay, we got a comment in the comment section. Julie from Michigan checking in, saying hello, gentlemen. Hello to you, Julie. Thanks for tuning in as we react to a very shocking NFL trade deadline. It seemed pretty quiet. We weren't sure what was going to happen today, but we know by 4 p.m. Eastern time, things were going to moves are going to be made.
Mm-hmm.
And leading up to the trade deadline, we had a couple trades. Michael Carter II was traded from the Jets to the Eagles for John Mechie and a draft pick. We had Jalen Phillips yesterday going from the Dolphins over to the Philadelphia Eagles because Eagles don't care. Salary cap, what's that?
Yeah.
Well, I understand the details of the trade. The Eagles only have to pay out, I think, $500,000 of that contract, and the Dolphins eat the rest.
Oh man, how does Howie Roseman do this? It's
crazy. It's some sort of wicked math, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
but that was yesterday. So we go to today, and we had some trades that happened. We are starting to trickle in here. Bengals, the Jaguars, they sent Jacoby Myers. I'm sorry, the Raiders sent Jacoby Myers to the Jaguars for a couple picks. Myers had requested a trade before the trade deadline, saying, "I want out." And
yeah, he pretty much indicated he wanted out at the start of the season. He has not been happy there. He wanted out for a while.
No, he has not. So Jacoby Myers on his way to Jacksonville. I imagine as a new, I mean, with Travis Hunter being up for another 3 weeks, he's on the IR. They're going to need another receiver for a complimentary receiver for Brian Thomas Jr. And the GM, the Jaguars were basically going to say, we are Huckleberry. So we're going to send Jacoby Myers to the, we're going to bring in Jacoby Myers to help out. Ravens acquiring Draymond Jones from Cleveland. Bears acquiring Joe Tyron Shoyinka from the Browns as well. Bengals trading linebacker Logan Wilson to Dallas.
I don't think that's the defensive help Dallas needs. That Bengals defense, it's got a hex on it.
Yeah, that Bengals defense is bad enough as it is, and we'll talk about that more when we get to talking about Week 9 in the NFL. Your Seahawks, Dustin. I'm pretty sure you talk about it. You'll talk about it on Seahawks sessions on Friday.
We will for sure. And Ryan, you inspired me. I might do a short clip to express my own thoughts about it after the show.
Okay. I'll definitely get that into our esteemed social media people at Belly Up Sports. So Seahawks acquiring Rashid Shaheed, Chargers acquiring Trevor Pennings from the Saints because they needed some offensive line help because G.O.A.T is out for the year after having season-ending ankle surgery. Got rolled up on in their win in Tennessee on Sunday. And let's see, anything else? No, not really. But here was the biggest news of the trade deadline. And it broke sometime in the afternoon, early in the afternoon, when Rappaport reported on Twitter that the Jets were trading Sauce Gardner. And I'm doing my work, and all of a sudden I see on Twitter, I see it in the Discord on the Jake Asman show's Discord chat. I'm looking for it on Twitter, and it's just, Ian Rappaport sources, Jets trading Sauce Gardner to the Colts, and I'm going, wait a second, hold on. hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner was not even a mention
No.
on in terms of trade deadline rumors. The trade deadline rumors were, I mean, the trade deadline, the big names for the Jets that were featured out there were Jermaine Johnson and Brees Hall.
Yeah.
But come to find out, as news was starting to come in, that the Jets were sending Sauce. And I thought to myself, all right, Sauce Gardner just signed an extension
Yeah.
in the offseason before during training camp and saying, okay, this is supposed to be a pillar of the Jets defense. Garrett Wilson also got an extension. He's supposed to be a pillar of the offense. Now, Jets already said, absolutely not. We are not going to trade Garrett Wilson. That is one piece of the puzzle we will not trade for the future. But all of a sudden you see Sauce Gardner getting traded, and there's a lot of confusion, a lot of anger amongst Jets fans, a lot of what's going on. Come to find out that this was an offer basically the Jets couldn't refuse. And I see your brother-in-law Nick in the comment saying, I'm so done with the Jets. I've heard that before. I have said that myself many a times, including last season. But just when I think I'm out, they draw me back in.
Yeah, it's Godfather 3 for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I will let you continue your thoughts in the moment because they are many. But the one thing that this indicated to me as a non-Jet fan, Ryan, I think this signals that Muji is safe and Aaron Glenn is safe. You do not make a trade like this. This is the signal that they are going to allow them to put their footprint on the team for better or worse. The team is Muji's and it is Glenn's now. That's what it indicates to me because Sauce had signed the extension. That's what I put in the Discord. I said, I can't believe this. He signed the extension, and you're saying they must have made an offer they can't refuse, you know?
Yep. That's basically what it was, is that Darren Muji basically said, yeah, there were no plans to trade Sauce Gardner. There were absolutely no plans to trade him, but he got a phone call from Chris Ballard, GM of the Colts, saying, we need help. And yes, the Colts do need help in their secondary. They have some injured pieces right now. There's some injuries right now in the secondary, and they made an offer to the Jets, and the Jets said, yeah, let's go with it. So here are the details of this trade. Jets send Sauce Gardner to the Colts. The Colts send over in return their first round draft picks for 2026 and 2027, their third round pick in 2026, and the Jets get a player that can help them now in Adonai Mitchell, who, yes, had that awful fumble about a month or so ago in Los Angeles when the Colts were playing the Rams. He had that premature touchdown that I was apoplectic when I saw that. Yes, he's going to be a member of the New York Jets, as is John Mitchie, who is now who comes in from the Philadelphia Eagles. He was in a locker room basically that was full. It wasn't getting a lot of playing time, and they figured the Jets figured, all right, let's see what we can do. So you got a couple of guys who can help you in the short term. Let's see if they can help you in the long term. But they also acquire picks for the future. They weren't done because as soon as I could say what the hell, and I had made a reaction video. I initially made a reaction video for Belly Up Sports, for the YouTube and for Twitter and for social media, reacting to this trade. Quinnen Williams gets traded to Dallas for a second round pick next year and their choice of either Dallas's or Green Bay's first round pick in 2027. The Jets also acquire Mazzie Smith, who was a defensive tackle. So not only do they get picks for the next two seasons from both the Dallas Cowboys and the Indianapolis Colts, they also get players that can help them, not so much help them, but roster players who can fill a void where they need it now.
Yeah, I'm shocked though, because to me, the Quinnen Williams move doesn't shock me as much. The Sauce one, and haha, Jerry Jones, you got the defensive player that you needed, but you had one that you traded away. But that's either here nor there.
Well, Dustin,
No,
we
well,
need to get some run. We gonna get some run defensive help because we were getting run over last night against the Cardinals team with their third string running back running all over the place. He was running all over us, and we need that interior run help with Kenny Clark.
You know what, Jerry? I really like the way you think, Jerry. I couldn't have said it better myself, Jerry. I mean, Bam Knight, he just really ran all over us, and I said, Bam, I got to get some more defensive help. But but anyway,
Thanks, Jerry. Let's get a drink later.
sounds great, Jerry. We'll go to that Mexican place where I interviewed Jimmy Johnson before I fired Tom Landry. But
I hear they have great margaritas. Senorita, por favor.
but to me, if
I have to laugh to keep from crying.
you do. But if I thought for sure Breece Hall was the Jet that would be gone.
Yep.
That's what I thought. If you're Breece Hall and you wake up today, you're thinking, what is going on? But I'm just shocked because Breece was prime, especially after the game he had against the Bengals. Breece was primed to be moved. He could have got a decent return for him. The Sauce move shocks me. The Quinnen Williams rumors, they were out there, I believe.
Yep.
But man, this move, Ryan, this move's crazy.
Yeah, and we're like I said, we're gonna talk about it more on Just Endure the Suffering at 9:00 tonight. It's gonna be a very short version. I told Dan, I'm like, listen, I had a rough day at work. I've been up since 4:30 for workout. The whirlwind of this trade. I had to replace my sister's windshield wipers. I had to make dinner. I had to take a shower.
You're like, I've had it.
I've had it. I'm done. Let's keep it short. But he wanted to go on at 9. So, but yeah, I mean, apparently, according to a lot of sources who are close to the Jets, I guess Quinnen had requested a trade, not one time, not 2 times, 3 times, and his choice of trade was to go to his choice of teams was to go to Dallas. I'm not sure why. I don't know if Quinnen has any connections to the Dallas area. He's from Alabama originally, so I don't know if he has any kind of connection with the Dallas area, but that's where he wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jets said, okay. I think here's my hypothesis on this particular trade, on the Quinnen trade. I think he's still salty that Aaron Glenn told Aaron Rodgers to go kick rocks. Okay. And as soon as that news came out back in March, Quinnen Williams said, I put on social media, well, I guess we're going through another rebuild. Now, here's the thing with Dallas, though. Dallas has had a horrible game last night against the Arizona Cardinals. They're sitting outside of a playoff spot right now.
Yeah.
If I go to the standings, they do have a tie, so they have that in their back pocket they could use. They're currently, let's see, Detroit's 5-3. They're the 7th seed. They own the tiebreaker over Chicago. So Dallas is currently a 1.5 games out of a wild card spot. So there's no guarantee that Quinnen Williams will go to the playoffs. The Cowboys have to basically win out to guarantee themselves a playoff spot. If they win out, they're 11 or 12, 11-6 and 11-5-1. But no, they got some games. They got some games in front of them. They've got the They got the Raiders next Monday. They have another Monday night game in 2 weeks.
Oh man, we got to sit through it.
Against the Raiders, you got to sit through that. But then the rest of their schedule is really tough. At home against the Eagles, at home against the Chiefs. That'll be the Thanksgiving game. At Detroit, at home against Minnesota, who played much better than I thought they would this week. home finale against the Chargers, at the Commanders, at the Giants. This is going to be a gauntlet for the. It's going to be a gauntlet for the Cowboys. Again, there's no guarantee that there'll be a playoff spot, and hopefully there was a lot of hope with Jets fans that Quinnen would be able to help lead the Jets to a playoff spot, especially over the last 2 or 3 seasons, because they had a team that could, at least they had defensively, they had a team that could go to a playoffs. Their offense didn't keep up the end of the bargain, so it's not on him. And I feel bad that look, Sauce, Gardner, Quinnen Williams, great players. I'm sorry things didn't work out for you in New York. I know they wanted to bring a playoff appearance to New Jersey, to New York, to MetLife Stadium. The rest of the team at least offensively, couldn't hold the bargain. And now they're in a position again where they have to do another rebuild.
Yeah.
I think it was just time. It was a matter of time, because before either one of these guys were going to exit stage right. And now here we are, November 4th, year of our Lord 2025, and they'll be in different uniforms on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shocking. It's shocking. And I mean, those are the headlines of the deadline. There's not, I mean, yes, the Seahawks made a move. Yes, we will talk about it on Seahawks Sessions, my last podcast before Extra Life.
Hey.
And I know we'll talk about it. Dan's in the chat. We're cooking things up.
Get to you in a second, Dan.
And but these I'm shocked, and I'm not a Jets fan, so I can't imagine what a whirlwind this has been for you. But tune into the show. Tune into Justin Dewar, the suffering after the show at 9, because Ryan and I, yes, we are still going to try to recap a crazy week in the NFL.
Yeah. I have some more thoughts about the trade deadline, but I do want to read off these comments before we go to that. Your brother-in-law is saying no one can help the Jets now. LOL. Yeah, the rest of the season is just it's gonna be miserable.
Yeah.
Buckle up, Nick. It's not going to be a great rest of the year. I think if hopefully they win on Sunday against the Cleveland Browns. I make no promises though. I think they have maybe 1 or 2 wins, 1 or 2 more wins in them. And then maybe 3. I don't know. We'll see. Because we got Cleveland, Miami, and New Orleans on the horizon. All the rest of those games, I think they're going to be losses. Take the L. Buckle up. It's going to be a miserable ride. Your aforementioned Seahawks Sessions co-host, Dan, saying from the Time to BS podcast, in a 30,000-foot view, this was the smartest move they could have done. Sauce fell off a cliff the last couple of years. I will say this about Sauce. I think last year he was battling injuries, and I know he was out for a couple of games last year, and he had a concussion. He had a concussion on he missed Sunday's game, last Sunday's game against Cincinnati. I think he's had some injury issues, which is why he kind of, I wouldn't say fell off a cliff, but he hasn't been his all-pro self from the first 2 seasons he was in the league. So I had to wonder. It's not an excuse. That's just my hypothesis. And I think a lot of teams are kind of catching up to how they can beat him, because he hasn't had a pick since December 2024. Hasn't had an interception. I'm sorry, since 2023. Oh, wow. So it's been a while, and it's a big complaint amongst Jets fans is he never gets an interception. I'm like, yeah, because they don't throw it away.
Yeah, they don't test
direction.
Yeah.
He's also asking me why I sound like Billy Bob Thornton and Landman. Because I'm still working on my Jerry Jones. That's why.
It's okay, Ryan. It'll come along.
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying my best. The Council of Jerry Jones is a new character you both need to do. Listen, Thanksgiving's coming, okay? Thanksgiving's coming. We got some plans for Thanksgiving.
We got something.
We're going to live stream here on Thanksgiving morning. So instead of watching the parade and, I'm trying to stuff Mariah Carey in the box, so all I want for Christmas is doesn't show up on my feed at all. Yeah.
I I thought the second part of that sentence was not coming. That one almost got me. Oh man.
What, trying to stuff Mariah Carey in a box?
No. I just thought you were gonna cut it off after Mariah Carey.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Dan's saying, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Your brother-in-law saying Fernando Mendoza, Jets pick 2026. Listen, right now the Jets are, according to Tankathon, they hold the number 3 pick in the draft. And apparently New Orleans, I don't know if they're going to stick with Tyler Shug. I know the Titans have Cam Ward. They're not picking a quarterback. The Saints, I think the Saints, if it's too good to be true, I think the Saints will pick quarterback. I think they'll pick, if they went up number 1, you gotta go with Fernando Mendoza. If he's the number 1, if he's considered the number 1 draft prospect, we could see a draft day situation, Dustin.
Oh yeah. Anthony Weaver out there.
I want my picks back.
Sonny Weaver. I want all of them.
Anthony Weaver, Saratoga's own. He played for the Saratoga Blue Streaks back in the day.
Yeah. I did it again. I did the Sam Weiss, Frank Wycheck. I did it.
And Julius asked me what was for dinner. I'd shaved steak and eggs. That's what I had.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah. As for the rest of the trade deadline, there were a lot of surprises in terms of who didn't make trades. Detroit didn't make any trades. I thought they would make a trade based on the fact that their secondary is banged up again. I thought Buffalo would try to acquire a wide receiver. And I saw one tweet from a Buffalo radio station, some talking head at a Buffalo sports station about the Bills inquiring about Garrett Wilson. I'm like, no, Garrett Wilson's not going anywhere. He's not. He's already committed. He wants to be with the Jets long term.
They did try to inquire with the Saints about one Chris Olave, but they were summarily rejected on that front.
Yeah, so I'm surprised. We talked about Buffalo and their need for a wide receiver 1, and not a wide receiver 1 by committee. Even though the offense currently runs through James Cook, literally and figuratively speaking. I'm surprised the 49ers didn't try to make a move because they're another one of their guys out with another ACL injury thanks to the turf monster at MetLife Stadium. I'm surprised New England didn't try to make a move. I'm surprised. There's a lot of teams I was surprised that didn't make any moves in this trade deadline.
I'm surprised. I am surprised, and I'll just keep the Seahawk thought brief, but I am surprised that the Seahawks did not make a defensive move. That is what a wide receiver is not where I thought they would go. But I don't mind the move, but I'm just surprised because especially with Ernest Jones getting injured in that Commanders game, I thought they might need to make a defensive adjustment because he is important to the Seahawks. He is very important to the Seahawks.
Yeah. I forgot there was one more trade that the Jets made that was announced after the trade deadline, but they must have made it. They had a trade with the San Diego Chargers.
It happens.
It should be in San Diego. Spanos family. Los Angeles Chargers, they sent a conditional 2028 7th-round pick to the Chargers for cornerback Ja'Sir Taylor. So, I mean, somebody's got to fill Sauce Gardner's spot. So yeah, it's going to be. But I will say this: these draft picks for the Jets, they better land.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say. And whoever picked the quarterback next in the draft, whether it be Fernando Mendoza, whether it be Ty Simpson, who I think is a big risk because he's a first year. This is his first year starting for Alabama. Whether it's Arch Manning, who I think should stay another season at Texas because he needs some more seasoning.
Oh yeah, does he ever?
Or my favorite quarterback right now, Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt. Whoever they pick, they're gonna have to make sure that he's gonna have an offense to help him out. They just need to figure out, who that pick is going to be, and it better land.
Yeah, I mean, I shout out to this person. I don't know who they are because I forgot to take a screenshot, but I saw somebody on Twitter. If you're a Family Guy fan from back in the day, you'll remember the episode where Peter has a chance to win a boat, but he elects to choose what is in the mystery box because he says it could be anything, even a
Could be
boat.
anything. Could be a boat.
But somebody had put a Jets hat on Peter, and it said Sauce Gardner's an all-pro corner. But these draft picks, they could be anything, even an all-pro corner. And I was like, well done. Well done for that.
So easy. Just low-hanging fruit to make fun of the Jets. God. Dan saying that Mariah carrying a box sounds terrifying. And Julie saying Christian Mahogany just went down, so defensive help would have been nice. Yeah, I mean, it's next man up right now. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when the Lions brought in Jamal Adams.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep, that was last season.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were so bereft of so bereft at secondary. They were so they had to bring in
El Prez.
The Prez.
Yeah.
To play corner. All right, we're going to take our network mandated commercial break and we'll talk about the rest of week 9 in the NFL. But let's talk about our sponsor for this episode, and that is Royal Retro's Throwback Gear. Royal Retros, they are the king of throwbacks. Remember when jerseys were bold, mustaches were glorious, and shorts were too short? Good news. You can bring back all that retro magic back, minus the chafing, with Royal Retros. They've got vintage style football, baseball, basketball, and hockey gear that screams, I was born the wrong era, but I look amazing. Rock a jersey that makes people say, wait, isn't that from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s? Yes, it is. And you look fantastic. Head to royalretros.com. Use promo code CREDHEAD at checkout for 10% off your order. That's CREDHEAD, CREDHEAD, like a fan of our show, with excellent taste in throwbacks. Royal Retros, the king of throwbacks. Yes, 10% off your order. Plus, you get free shipping with every order of $100 or more. And they're also the title sponsor for our Cut the Brakes Pick'em Challenge. We'll talk about that in just a brief moment. But we're going to talk about week 9 in the NFL. Game of the year of the week of week 9. Dustin, what was your game of the year of the week?
All right. So, really I wanted to talk about one game, but I saw that you picked it and you're going to talk about it in just a few short moments. So I pivoted because I had some family stuff going on this weekend. Shout out to my sister, did a great job directing the play. I finally got to see it because it wasn't the same weekend as Extra Life as it is for most years. But I'm going to pick one of the games that I happened to see the most of, and that was the Raiders-Jags, man.
Yeah.
This game was crazy. Now, this game is the perfect example of the example that I always use. Credit to Bill Simmons because he came up with it first, but it's the usual suspect. It's the Kaiser Sose game. The ending of this game was so good that you forget how terrible it was for the first 3 quarters. The first 3 quarters, the only notable thing that happened, this was a battle of field goals. And one of those field goals was kicked by Cam Little, and it was 68 freaking yards, man. Rystradamus, I sounded like Gruden there. Rystradamus, it's your prediction of a 70-yarder is going to come true because this was 2 yards away and it would have cleared from further. I looked at the kick again. It would have cleared. So 70 is going to happen. Book it. Ryan's right. But that was the only highlight other than Ashton Ginty finally looked to have some running room. That makes Raiders fans happy. But all of a sudden, the Jags start to drive at the end of the third. They're moving the ball up the field. The third quarter ends, and then it was like both teams hit the smelling salts that are banned, but I see people using them all the time. And both teams woke up because the Jags did score. Trevor Lawrence ran it into the end zone right at the beginning of the fourth. And then this game took off. The Raiders responded with a TD of their own from Geno to the aforementioned Aston Jeanty. And then the Jags responded with a TD by their own rookie running back, Bashal Tootin. Travis Etienne. Sorry, I keep doing that. He had a big gain, which got them down there. There were some catches by Brian Thomas Jr., another person that people thought might get traded at the trade deadline. He did not. And then Geno responds with a touchdown to Brock Bowers, who had a huge game in this game. You see, Brock Bowers was the Raiders' number one receiver. There's no
He's wide receiver one by default.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then after that, the Jags respond with a field goal to tie it at 23 to end the fourth. In OT, yes, this game went to OT. The Jags scored first on another Trevor Lawrence dive over the goal line, trying to extend the ball over. He did get it there. And then Raheem Mostert, who had a good return, he set up the Raiders for another TD to Bowers. Raheem Mostert, he is an ageless wonder. I think he's 31 years old. He had some big returns in this game, and he had a couple big runs too. I like Raheem. I'm happy he's still playing in the NFL.
33.
Oh, he's 33, man. Okay. All right. And then Pete, I was astounded by this. He elected to go for 2 and for the win, but why not? And Geno's pass is batted down. The Jags defense gets the stop when they need to. And this game that was entertaining for a quarter and a half ended. And Ryan, do you know who was wide open in the end zone on that Geno pass before it was batted down?
Jacoby Myers.
It was the newly acquired Tyler Lockett, who had been there for 3 days. Yeah. He was wide open. He had... Tyler's getting up there, but he's still a great route runner. He had the defender completely spun around. They almost got it to him, but they didn't. Seattle fans will know what that's like.
And I have the Pete Carroll shocked face screenshot on my phone.
Yeah,
I'll have to break that out.
Oh man.
But yeah, I that was my game. I was like, so I was paying attention to it because I was watching Red Zone while I was doing stuff around the house, and the Chiefs Bills didn't disappoint.
No, it didn't. It was a good game.
Rams Saints was a complete dog walk.
Yeah,
as we thought. But this game, yeah, absolutely. Initially, when you saw the teams kick field goals, and you're thinking to yourself, all right. Do you remember that Vikings-Raiders game from a couple years ago?
Yeah.
That was like neither team scored a point until the fourth quarter. And the final score wound up being like 6-3 Vikings.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Thursday, the Raiders put up 60-plus points against the Chargers in what was Brandon Staley's last game as Chargers head coach.
Yes.
I thought that was going to be that game. I thought it was a carbon copy of that game. It was crazy. But yeah, the both teams were scoring touchdowns. Their offenses were getting going. And yes, my dad sent me a text message when that game was over saying, the Raiders Geno'd themselves. I didn't know that was a verb.
Yeah, I didn't know either. But you could also say they got caroled. I'm sure Dan was cackling when that happened.
Oh man.
Dan's not getting a Christmas card from the Carroll household. I'll just put it that way.
No, he is definitely not. In fact, I'm pretty sure they have a restraining order against him to make sure he doesn't get anywhere near Pete Carroll. He's on their ban list.
Oh, man.
Gone forever. My game of the year of the week, and of course, one of the 1:00 games again, hit or miss. This one hit, and it hit hard. Yeah. And it hit often. Bears-Bengals. That was your upset pick of the week, Dustin.
I know.
Bengals were, and I was keeping an eye on it because and the 1:00 games made me, I don't know whether to be angry or if I was bored. I think I was more angry that none of my picks with Belly Up Sports or with our Pick'em Challenge hit were hitting because the Colts were disappointing.
Oh,
We'll talk about them in just a
we'll
moment.
get to that.
And yeah, I was like, I was going to go. And the Colts were disappointing. The Lions were disappointing. Sorry, Julie from Michigan. I had to say it. The Lions were disappointing too. But I was like, these games aren't great. Maybe if I turn it to hockey for a bit because there's a hockey game on, maybe I'll be more engaged. But I kept going back to red zone to this game. Listen to the final stats of this game, Dustin. All right.
All right.
Both teams, both the Bears and the Bengals, combined for 1,071 yards. Cincinnati, in terms of their stats, in terms of total stats, Cincinnati had 495 total yards. 470 of those yards were by Joe Flacco alone.
Man.
He had 449 net yards because of the sacks taken into account. But still, almost 500 yards passing in this game.
Man.
And the Bengals had no rush. They had no run game in this game. Caleb Williams, 280 yards. Sounds pedestrian compared to his teammate. Kyle Monangai, who had 26 carries for 176 yards.
Yeah.
No touchdowns. But you also had a touchdown pass and a rushing touchdown by DJ Moore. There were 4 Bears on the score sheet who had at least one passing attempt.
It's crazy. And what's even more crazy is Rome Odunze was not involved at all. You look at this score, you think that Rome Odunze at least had to have a part of it, but nothing.
3 targets, no catches.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. DJ Moore, 4 receptions, 72 yards. Colston Loveland, the tight end. It's Loveland season, y'all. 6 receptions, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. The final touchdown, his longest reception of the day, was 58 yards, which was on the game-winning touchdown. Mm-hmm. The Bengals actually come back. They were down 13. They'd come back, and they had. I'm sorry, they were down. Yeah, they were down 13. They'd come back. They had taken the lead with just over a minute or two left in the game. This is the play-by-play, Dustin, of this game. From the first quarter on. Touchdown, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. Punt, field goal. Touchdown. Missed field goal, end of the first half. 20-17 Bengals. Third quarter. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Fumble by the Bengals. Field goal. Missed field goal by the Bengals. Touchdown. And at that point, the Bears were up 14, 41-27. So I misspoke. They were down by 14. Then the Bengals Joe Flacco throws an interception. Figure, okay, the game's over. Nope. Bengals force a 3-and-out. Touchdown. Onside kick recovered. Touchdown. It's 42-42 with 54 seconds left. Then the Bears went 4 plays. So incompletion. Caleb Williams, 14-yard run. Then he has that pass to Loveland for 58 yards. They convert the 2-point. No, they missed the 2-point conversion because they had gotten the 2-point conversion. They're up 47-42. So if they made the 2-point conversion, they'd be up 7. So the Bengals would be forced to tie. But then the Bengals threw an interception. Game over. Over 1,000 yards combined offense. 89 points scored.
Man.
One of the craziest games this season, or probably in I wouldn't say in modern history, but in recent times.
Yeah.
I also have to say about the Bengals defense. This defense is a war crime. They are awful. This Bengals defense is awful. 47 points surrendered in this game. 39 points surrendered the week before against the Jets. It's 86 points in 2 games.
Yeah.
Gross.
That's disgusting, and that was going to be my biggest takeaway before we eschewed the segment in favor of the trade deadline, because we had to. Is if I'm the Bengals, trade any piece outside of your big core on offense, get picks, and start trying to rebuild that defense. Because if you don't do something, it's gonna be like this every year, even if Joe Burrow comes back. Because guess what, everybody? Joe Flacco's played just as good as Burrow could have. You almost don't notice a drop off since he's gotten to to the Bengals and QB'd their offense. Their offense looks fine these past couple of games, but it doesn't matter because the Bengals defense is so horrible.
Yeah, and it's funny in the Discord chat. I was just noting that the Dolphins and the Bengals they hold mirrors to each other, and that they have defenses that are underwhelming, and they have their money invested in so many players on offense. Look, the Bengals, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Those three players make up about 47% of their cap space, or those, at least I'm not sure if I get the number right, but those three players account for 47% of their cap space, which is awful, which is horrible cap management. And I know you're trying to keep a core of offensive players together, but you're doing so at the expense of your defense. Yeah. And at least Chris Greer, we talked about him being fired on Saturday's show. At least he tried to bring him some defensive help with Bradley Chubb. He drafted Jalen Phillips, who just got traded to the Eagles. But he also had those egregiously bad contracts of Tyreek Hill and the sign-and trade, giving Jalen Waddle all that money, and given especially Tua Tagovailoa oft injured as Joe Burrow, drafted 1 year apart from each other. Yeah. Oh no, were they the same? I think they were drafted 1 year apart from each other.
I think we'll do some real-time research.
I'm doing it now.
Joe Burrow draft year
2020. So they were in the same draft class.
Wow. Yeah, 2020 NFL draft. Yep. Man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that again these two teams hold up a mirror to each other so much, and somebody's going to lose. Somebody in Cleveland's got to lose their job.
Yeah. Andrew Berry is going to lose his job in Cleveland, and in Cincinnati, this defensive mismanagement. Yeah, something's going to happen, and it's not the coordinator, because a lot of people put it on the coordinator last year, but he's moved on. He's doing well where he is. Lou I can't say his last name. I'm so sorry. Lou Anarumo, I think it is. But he's moved on, and that defense is performing well. Yeah. I believe it's the Colts.
Yeah, and your cohort from Seahawks Sessions, Kevin, saying, shame on the Bengals for scoring 80 points in 2 games and don't win either game. Yep, yeah. That's what happens when you surrender 86 in 2 games. That's what happens.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to move on to the biggest upset of Week 9, and I'll start off with this one. My biggest upset was Carolina Panthers. Their defense is intense.
Oh, man.
I gotta find that song. I wish I could play it, but I'll probably get copyrighted.
Probably. That guy's probably sitting on that video.
Oh, he's sitting on that video. He's like, hey, baby. I was featured in the Fanatics commercial from 2015. Regardless, I gotta say, A+ for your creativity, and kudos to you for getting probably season tickets for the Panthers for a season.
Right? Yeah, probably.
It's part of the deal. Anywho, Panthers over Packers. I mean, you could argue whether this was a fantastic performance by Carolina, or if it was a subpar performance by Green Bay coming out of a big revenge win. Yes, you can call it a revenge win against Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers last week. Either way, are the Panthers for real? They're 5-4. After this game, they're 5-4. And they've won 2 games on the road. They've won all but one of their games at home. But we got to talk about their defense is intense. It's a decent defense, other than last week when they got run over literally and figuratively by James Cook. Their defense was very good against an ordinarily potent Packers offense. They scored
Mhm.
35 points last week's game. They were held out of the end zone for the first 58 minutes of this game. They
Man,
tied the score with just a little over or under 2 minutes remaining. And the Packers defense had a chance to force this game to go to overtime. But Bryce Young led the Panthers down the field in a 2-minute drill, got them within field goal range, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, shout out to my fellow Ryan, or Ryan Fitzgerald, excuse me. Again, shout out to my fellow Ryan. We're the best. He kicks the game-winning field goal to seal the game for the Panthers. They stay in the wild card, the playoff hunt. They stay within that. And if I look at the standings right now, actually they might be just outside. They're knocking on the door
Mhm.
of a playoff berth. Yeah, they're 6-4. Excuse me, they're 5-4. They're half a game out of a playoff spot behind Detroit. And we got to talk about Rico Dowdle too. Rico
Oh,
Dowdle,
yeah.
another huge game. He's becoming their bell cow running back, 130 yards, 2 more touchdowns. He's now third in the league in rushing. And Dallas Cowboys, Derrick Jones, what were you doing? What were you doing letting him go?
Ryan, I didn't think he could handle the low. I didn't think he was an every down back. Okay, I thought, I just thought we were going to get Derrick Henry, and then we didn't, and then I don't know. Sometimes even I can't explain it.
Well, we decided to hitch our wagon to Javonte Williams and see what he could do.
I mean, he's been all right. He's been pretty good in the Big D, but we miss Rico. That's for sure.
Your cohort from Seahawks Sessions, Kevin, saying, fantastic performance by Daddle. Carolina needs to leave him alone and forget Hubbard.
Yeah.
Listen, I will say this about Chuba Hubbard. He's right now he's emerging. I mean, injuries aside, he's had his share of injuries. He was the primary back, but
Hmm.
when he got injured, Rico Dowdle had filled in, and he's filled in nicely. And I think he could be a nice complimentary back for Rico Dowdle
Yeah.
if he decides to accept that role. This is Carolina's got a schedule that if some things happen, they could be in a playoff spot. The next games are the Saints at an underwhelming Falcons team,
Yeah.
at the 49ers, Rams, Saints, at the Saints, Buccaneers, against your Seahawks to be
Yeah.
determined. And then they conclude the season at the Buccaneers. And that could actually be for the NFC South,
Could
which
be.
is kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
so yeah. I mean, this Carolina Panthers team, very surprising. I had them in second to finish second in the NFC South in my prediction show. So, but hey, congratulations to them. They're my pick of the week for biggest upset. What was yours, Dustin?
Mine was, and if you remember, I channeled it. I did the Kirk Van Houten. Can I borrow a feeling game? I said that I had a feeling about the game. My biggest upset was the Steelers over the Colts.
Mm.
I did not. I expected the Steelers to keep this competitive, but I did not expect them to win this game, especially in the manner that they did it. Okay, we're going to get into a little more detail when we get to our biggest disappointment, because guess what? I'll be talking about a couple of Colts there. But this Steelers defense, credit where credit is due. They had been hapless heading into this game, but they were able to force 6 turnovers by the Colts. 6 turnovers. They also limited Jonathan Taylor to 45 yards on 14 carries. The Colts O-line allowed 5 sacks. Pittsburgh hadn't been able to generate pressure, and they did it this game. Against an offensive line for the Colts that had been very good at protecting Daniel Jones and opening up holes for Jonathan Taylor in the games previous to this one.
Mhm.
And offensively, the Steelers didn't have to blow the doors off. They did just enough to win. They were competent, specifically Aaron Rodgers in the passing game. He didn't blow any doors off, but he was competent, and that was enough to win because of the Colts turnovers and the pressure that the Steelers defense was able to generate. The Colts generated more offensive yards and led in time of possession, and they still lost this game. Huge upset, in my opinion. The Colts, I expected them to win this game.
I expected them to win too. They are actually one of my picks this week for the Cut the Breaks Pick'em Challenge. And Steelers fans did a peculiar thing before the game during the tailgates. One group of fans actually held a funeral for their defense
Oh, man.
because it's the most expensive defense in the NFL, and they've been up until Sunday. They've been atrocious.
Yep.
They've been absolutely atrocious. Not Bengals bad, but disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Kevin Sorbo can speak for all the Steelers fans.
Well, we'll have Kevin Sorbo make an appearance in just a moment.
Yeah.
Your cohort's getting a little cocky in the comments section. He's saying about the Panthers, that's a loss to the Seahawks. Hey! Don't get cocky, okay?
Yeah,
okay?
any given Sunday here.
Yeah, don't act like me and other Jets fans last year when Aaron Rodgers was fully healthy and they were ready to rumble and we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. Crap.
Oh, man.
Speaking of disappointments, let's talk about our biggest disappointments. Dustin, let me have you give your take on the biggest disappointment of the week.
I'm sorry, but it's the Colts again. It's specifically two players from the Colts, okay? Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor. Daniel Jones, kind of his old giant self, reared his ugly head. He threw 3 interceptions in this game. Now, 2 of them were on tipped passes. So but still, the season that Daniel Jones has had, you thought he had exercised those demons, at least for this game against a previously very bad Steelers defense. They were back. But to me, the bigger disappointment in this game is Jonathan Taylor. That was not a typo when I talked about it in the biggest upset. Jonathan Taylor was limited to 245 yards on 14 carries. Now, this Steelers defense, the run defense, you know what it's been like for the Steelers run defense? I'm going to take you in a time machine back to week 2. The Seahawks are looking good right now, but their run game has been atrocious this year when we thought it was going to be their calling card on offense, except against the Steelers. Kenneth Walker III rushed for 105 yards and a TD in that game against a Steelers defense. And yet they were able to limit Jonathan Taylor. You're telling me that the NFL's leading rusher heading into this game and somebody that has just dominated couldn't get it going against this defense? You got to do better, Mr. Taylor, for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. They were my pick this week. I thought Jonathan Taylor was the guy spotlighted on Saturday show. Can he continue to do the things he's been doing all season? He's on pace to fall just short of the rushing record he set for himself for the Colts back in 2021. He's no longer on pace for that, I don't think. Or he's falling short of that pace. And I thought he could rush for 2,000 yards, but the Steelers did their job. They did their job, and Kevin taking over the show saying Taylor killed my fantasy team. Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, Jonathan. My biggest disappointment again ties into the biggest upset, the Green Bay Packers. What the hell was that? And also, what the hell's with those uniforms?
Oh, man. Every time they wear those uniforms, they play bad.
Every time they wear a throwback uniform, they are god awful. Like, stick to what you know. Stick to the green, stick to the gold, stick to the green. That's what you do. That's what you do. And even those white uniforms, the Blizzard uniforms, at least winning those, these ain't it. And I know what the NFL's trying to do. Like, right? NFL's trying to do. They're appealing to kids whose parents will buy them a jersey like that. or like the ones that the Pittsburgh Steelers wore on Sunday night. Good God, the bringing back the bumblebee uniforms, what looks like the crested bumblebee uniform. You're on mute, by the way. The crested bumblebee uniforms. I know what the NFL tries to do. This is just consume. This is what it is. They're trying to appeal to the kids with these throwback uniforms, these rivalry or whatever they're called uniforms of rivalry rush or the whatever they're called, like the alternate uniforms for this year. That every team, like the NFC West teams, are going to wear, and the NFC and the AFC East teams are going to wear. We already saw the Dolphins wear them on Monday night. We saw the Bills wear them in their game against the New England Patriots, and they lost that game. We saw the someone ones in Arizona that look like a tortilla. I will say though that I'm looking forward to the Seahawks because I'm looking forward to watching an arena football team in the NFL this year because that's what they look like. And then the Jets uniform looks like a manhole cover because yes, they're playing like they're in the sewer. But this was a game. This is a winnable game against the Panthers. This was a winnable game. Again, they're riding off a high from beating Aaron Rodgers, their old teammate, the week before in Pittsburgh, preventing him from winning against all 32 NFL teams. It's likely, unless he decides to try to come back one more time and play on an NFC North team, he's not going to do that. He's not going to accomplish that feat. But the Panthers defense made that Packers offense look bad. And to their credit, the Packers defense held up their end of the bargain. They did their job against Carolina. They didn't allow a whole lot of yardage. Although I will say Rico Dowdle's celebration a la Key and Peele should not have earned a flag. Okay.
No.
You don't get two pumps in there. But, man, this Packers team, good for you that Toyotathon's coming soon, because any more performances like this and you're going to lose the division. They're only up by half a game on the Lions right now for first place in the NFC North.
Yeah.
And they continue to play like they played on Sunday. It is it's not going to be good for them. So
yeah, and I mean not to, but a bunch of Jordan Love fans tried to rake us over the coals for our reaction to Mike Tannenbaum's list.
Yep.
But this is why. You cannot argue that he's better than Jalen Hurts right now. I'm sorry. Because it's not like Jordan Love doesn't have weapons around him. He's got Josh Jacobs. And they finally went up and got the first round wide receiver that everybody was so happy about, Golden. Where are they? Why can't a wide receiver get it going in Green Bay? You're going to tell me it's because they spread the ball around? No, you never. And Tucker Kraft is hurt in this game, and he's out.
About to mention that.
Yeah.
Tucker Kraft's out for the season, and I gotta send you this clip that friend of the show God sent me. Romeo Dobbs talked about Tucker Kraft ACL tear like a death in the family.
Oh man,
like he's in a better place right now. It's like, did Matt LaFleur take him out to the barn and shoot him? I mean, what's going on here? I gotta send you that clip on Instagram. It's like, what's going on? But yes, needless to say, Kevin Sorbo, take us away.
Disappointed.
Indeed, we were. Peak performers in NFL Week 9. We're gonna move up pretty quick in this segment. In this last couple segments. Peak performers. In other words, the best performances of the week. I've renamed it Peak Performers. Executive decision.
All right.
For me, the Arizona Cardinals defense. What? Forced 3 turnovers, 2 fumble recovery. They forced 2 fumbles, recovered 2 fumbles, forced an interception at Dak Prescott. They blocked a field goal, which was brought back for a touchdown. And that enabled them to snap a 5-game skid. And the Cardinals did something that no team has done all season long in Jero world. They held them under 40 points.
I said it at the beginning of the year or earlier in the year, and I'll say it again. The NFC West is the best division in football right now because Jonathan Gannon, that Cardinals defense comes to play every game. Trust me, I've seen it. It's just they can't get their offense under control, although Marvin Harrison Jr. looked pretty good this game.
He did. He had a nice nice little resurgence game. So that's my peak performer for week 9. It was a unit because it's, gotta acknowledge the defense. Who was yours, Dustin?
All right, so mine, it's the Homer alert button, but I have to do it. There's no
Homer alert.
There's no way I couldn't talk about it after the game he had. My peak performance of the week comes from one Sam Darnold, the quarterback of my beloved Seattle Seahawks. His stats at the half. You ready for this, Ryan? 16 of 16 for 282 yards and 4 touchdowns. He started the game 17 of 17, which is a Seahawks franchise record. He finished 21 of 24. He only had 3 incompletions in this entire game for 330 yards. They pulled him. They put Drew Lock in there to lock it down because it was out of the game's outcome was not a question at that point. He did have the one interception, which you would like to have back, but man, Sam Darnold, I was probably one of the biggest doubters. I know Kevin and I skewed more negatively on the Sam Darnold acquisition than Dan did. Dan was very positive on the offseason. You got to give credit where credit is due. I was a detractor of Sam Darnold because I kept waiting for the wheels to fall off. No more. Sam Darnold, I have never seen a quarterback look more relaxed behind his offensive line than he was Sunday night against the Commanders. And man, he had it going. You start the game 17 of 17, you're doing something.
See, New York Jets. This is what happens when you put an O-line in front of your quarterback that you draft and give him weapons surround him with weapons who are capable of doing stuff. That's how an offense performs.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
I'm so mad. Your Uncle Al saying, "Look bad, play bad." That's according to for the Packers comment. He also says, "Hey, Darnold."
Yeah, he loved that year that you named your fantasy team that. He loves it. Still talks about it to this day.
That was my 2019 or 2020 team. Can't remember who it was. Oh, it says Al says Darnold, Jones both have good O-lines now. Go figure. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He texted me before the game. He said, Sam Darnold is the Daniel Jones of Baker Mayfield. So I was like, all right.
Oh my goodness,
man.
All right, we're gonna move on to a couple more segments left before we get out of here. We're gonna summarize the Cut the Brakes Pick'em Challenge for Week 9.
Because I cut the brakes! Wild card, bitches! Yeah! What?
This is how it went. Dustin nailed the Patriots pick. I forgot who they beat.
I can't remember either. Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
Boy, we are prepared.
Yeah.
The Falcons. They just They just held on against the Falcons. The Lions lost to the Vikings, and Dustin's upset pick did not pan out. My picks
so close.
My picks was Dustin's biggest disappointment, the Indianapolis Colts, because I spited the Steelers because I picked them to beat Green Bay the week before, and the Steelers spited me back. I had the Rams being the Saints, which was a no-brainer because they did, and the Giants absolutely laid an egg against the 49ers, which is unfortunate, but that's the breaks. So, in other words, nothing changed in the standings. Dustin's still 1 point behind me. I lead 17-16 currently. So we'll reveal our picks for Week 10 on Saturday. Make sure Dustin
I will send them in. And I already have my 81 in the hopper, Ryan. I'm ready.
All right. So so he's got his 81 in the hopper. We're gonna make sure he has his picks by Saturday for Saturday's show. I'll bring in a special guest to confirm with him. I've got him penciled in, but I've got confirmed that he's going to be on the show on Saturday. Give you a hint. He's currently in the corner booth. Well, not currently in the corner booth, but he was in the corner booth last night, and he'll be on Thursday as well. So hopefully he'll remember that he's owes me a favor. He'll be on Saturday's show. But that was this is a summary for the Cut the Brakes Pick'em Challenge for week 2.
Because I cut the brakes! Wild card, bitches! Yeah! What?
All right. Lastly, one of our last segments, our favorite athlete, not athletes.
Yeah.
Athlete to wear the number 80, to don the number 80 as far as our fandom goes. And this is pretty much a no-brainer.
Yeah.
For the both of us. It's the one, the only, the GOAT of GOATs in terms of receivers and returns, in terms of touchdown scorers in NFL history. That is one Jerry. No, Alice, not Phil McConkey. Although I love me some helicopter pilot Phil McConkey, Navy alum Phil McConkey. It's Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
This was a no-brainer.
Yeah, I couldn't pivot, and I'm going to let you explain why Jerry Rice is so great, Ryan, and I'll probably add a couple of things. But Kevin, if you're still watching, I know you're sitting there thinking to yourself, how does a Seahawk fan not pick Steve Largent? And I'm going to tell you, because you got to remember the rules of this challenge. I did not see Yoda play. Yoda retired before I was watching football, man. So I can't pick Steve Largent because I would have done it just so that I didn't pick Jerry, because Ryan and I have very rarely picked the same athlete throughout this series. But
only the fourth time.
Yeah.
It's only the fourth time.
But I had to do it for Jerry. I didn't even do it for Barry Sanders. I picked Jorge Posada so that we could have somebody different. But there is no other pick to me than Jerry Rice. Lay it on us, Ryan.
All right. So this is the fourth player again. We have unanimously picked for our favorite athletes to wear a certain number. 23, Michael Jordan. 42, Mo Rivera. 66, Mario Lemieux.
I forgot we did Lemieux together.
Yeah.
I didn't do Donnie. I didn't do Donnie for 23. I think I tried to say, respect to Donnie, but it's got to be MJ.
Yes. You said, I think you give him an honorable mention. I believe I did too.
Yeah, probably.
This is the fourth unanimous pick. It's Jerry Rice. Let's take a look. Let's take a listen of his accolades. Drafted out of Mississippi Valley State, an HBCU. I almost said HSBC. HBCU. There's my Sam Weish, Frank Wycheck moment.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Frank Weish. Sam Wycheck. He was Mississippi Valley State and HBCU. Bill Walsh, obviously impressed enough by Jerry Rice to pick him in the 1985 NFL draft. I believe he was a 5th rounder. If I'm mistaken, I'll double check real quick.
I got something. Let's see. Wide receiver. Blah blah blah.
Nope, sorry. He was first round draft pick, 16th overall by the San Francisco 49ers in 1985. Yeah. So, and again, out of a historically black college university, which was at that time was unheard of. I mean, at that time, you only really knew of one HBCU.
Yeah, it was Grambling.
It was Grambling because of Eddie Robinson and the legendary career that he had. But here are Jerry Rice's accolades. 13-time Pro Bowler, 10-time All-Pro, 3-time Super Bowl champ, 1987 NFL MVP, Super Bowl 23 MVP. And I believe he still holds the record for most receptions in the Super Bowl game. Although no, Branch broke that record. Hall of Fame, all 1980s and all 1990s team.
Mm-hmm.
2-time AP Offensive Player of the Year. 2-time Sporting News Player of the Year. 1987 UPI Offensive Player of the Year. 1985 UPI Rookie of the Year. 1987 Burt Bell Award winner. More of his accolades. So he played for 4 teams. Played for the 49ers. I'm sorry, 3 teams. The 49ers from 85 to 2000. Went to the Raiders in 2001. Played 4 seasons there. And concluded his career with the Seattle Seahawks, with your beloved Seattle Seahawks in 2004. He was part of the Super Bowl team that did not win the Super Bowl that season, but I have a conspiracy theory in my head as to why. But all-time career, 303 games regular season, 1,549 receptions for 22,895 yards, 197 receiving touchdowns. In addition to 87 rushes for 645 yards, 10 touchdowns. All-purpose scrimmage yards, 23,540. So he leads all time in receptions, yards, touchdowns, first downs with over 1,000, 1,092 first downs.
Yeah.
Yards from scrimmage, and rushing and receiving touchdowns with 207. All time.
And I believe he scored the most points of any non-kicker. He has the most points of any non-kicker as well.
Yeah. Just an incredible career. Oh, by the way, he does have passing stats. 3 of 10 for 71 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
All right. So he's not a QB. It's not a QB. And I'm going to tell you, because I knew that you're usually, you got the research and the stats on lockdown for this show. That's usually not my bag here. But I'm going to tell you one quick thing as to why Jerry Rice is so impressive. Go back in the time machine with me to 2000. Jerry Rice is injured. He's declining by his standards. And the emergence of Terrell Owens, San Francisco figures, Jerry, we love you. We love what you're doing. We love what you've done for this franchise. But just like Vince McMahon in 1994-ish, 5-ish, he says to the Macho Man, hey, Mach, you got to be at the announcing table. I don't think you have anything left. Macho Man goes to WCW, has some great matches there for many years. Jerry Rice did the same thing. He went to the Raiders. He went to the Raiders because he was pissed. He wanted to play still, and he went to Oakland because he was mad. Went across the bay. And in his Raiders career, when he was considered declining, injured, old, and done, Jerry Rice started 51 of 55 games for the Raiders, and in those games, he added 3,000 plus more receiving yards and 18 more touchdowns. I don't think he's done. Do you? That was so impressive because so many people were like, oh, Jerry Rice is great, but he's not what he used to be. He's done. He goes to the Raiders, and he still was great.
Yeah. And he does have several Super Bowl records, including receptions, 33, receiving yards, 589. This is in 5 Super Bowls, by the way. This is with San Francisco, Oakland, and Seattle. 33 receptions, 589 yards, 8 touchdowns, 604 all-purpose yards. He is tied for the single game or Super Bowl records with Deion Branch with 11 receptions, 215 yards in Super Bowl 23, and he scored 3 touchdowns twice in the Super Bowl, in Super Bowl 29 and Super Bowl 24 against the Denver Broncos and San Diego Chargers. Still should be in San Diego.
Yeah.
And that was, which is the highest scoring Super Bowl in Super Bowl history. So not only a great regular season performer, but also postseason and Super Bowl performer.
Yeah.
The greatest of all time in terms of receivers.
For sure. I mean, it was a unanimous pick, and I will rewind again. Shout out to one of my former college roommates, Scott. Hope you're watching somewhere, buddy. But we were playing Madden on the GameCube, and I traded. Once that trade went down, I put Jerry Rice on the roster at 4, and I selected my Seahawks, and I just kept trying to force the ball to Jerry Rice the whole game. And then when I finally got, because Scott knew I was going to do it, so he kept trying to stop me. And when Jerry Rice got a catch in that game, I stood up and I yelled in his face. I said, his name is Jerry Rice. Please don't try to cover him. You'll pay the price. And he goes, how long have you been waiting to uncork that one?
You were sitting on that for a while, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, man.
Even at like 40 years old, where he was with the Seahawks, he was still great.
Unbelievable. All right, before we get out of here, Dustin, you got one last time on this program to make your appeal for Extra Life. Go ahead. Let people know at home what you're doing.
Man, I am raising money for sick local children and their families. I'm raising money for the Bernard and Millie Duker Children's Hospital at Albany Med as part of the Extra Life charity affiliated with the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. If you are interested in trying to figure out how you can get involved, there's a couple of ways. The first is donate. If you can spare it, go to my Extra Life page. It's www.extralife.org. Search my name, Dustin Henry. You will find me. This is my 8th year doing this. I get so excited for it every year. What am I doing? I am playing video games for 24 straight hours on Twitch. I will be going live at 9 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday, this Saturday, to raise money. And if you can't donate, help in other ways. Share this link for Extra Life. There's also a Facebook fundraiser. If you're friends with me on Facebook, share it, please. Help get the word out if you can't contribute via donating. I understand times are tough out there right now for a lot of people. What makes Extra Life and the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals a little different is than some charities is 100% of your donation goes exactly to the hospital and the families and children who need it. They do not take a percentage of your donation. Also, if you are interested, your donation is 100% tax deductible. There will be a donation tracker on Twitch. The games that we are planning on playing are Fall Guys, Helldivers 2, Borderlands 3, Mario Kart World, and I'm sure shenanigans will ensue. I get so much support from people throughout the year. This is one of my favorite days of the year. I look forward to it every year. Join me 9 a.m. Eastern time starting. I'm going for as long as possible, hopefully till 9 a.m. the next day. And come watch me play video games terribly and help raise some money for a good cause. Once again, www.extra-life.org for the Bernard and Millie Duker Children's Hospital at Albany Med. I'll miss the show next week, but man, I can't wait. I can't wait for Saturday.
Yeah, Dustin won't be here Saturday. I'll bring a special guest in. I'm actually going to head down and hang out with him for a while. I'll also be playing some video games terribly for a bit.
Man, I look forward to it.
Guys, for sure.
I look forward to it, and I still got those beers, man. I saved them.
Yes.
I saved them.
Yes, they're good beers too. Spencer joining us saying, just joining. We're just leaving. Thanks for stopping by anyway, Spencer. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right, I gotta go because about an hour, a little bit less than an hour, I'm gonna be doing Just Endure the Suffering, a extra special edition. Talking about the trade deadline, going into depth about the trade deadline with the Jets. So join us there on No Credentials Required YouTube channel, also on my personal Twitter. Twitter/X, which is at whoisRyanMCC. You can join the discussion there. But before we do that, reminder, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, follow us on social media. Give us a like, share it, all that stuff. And also check out other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, and our host, which is Podbean. And also hit that notification bell on our Twitter and on YouTube so you know when shows go live, when there's clips, and when there are general show announcements. So thank you again for joining us on No Credentials Required. or you don't need to press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. Again, I'll be here Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. If I have to go solo, I'll go solo. But I'll send a nice reminder to our special guest to nudge him saying, hey, don't be up too late on Friday night. You're supposed to be here on Saturday morning. Regardless, Dustin will be missed, but we'll go live on Saturday morning. And again, if you have it in your heart to donate, if you've got some special funds, visit that link for Extra Life. It's in the description on both. It'll be on the podcast side and it'll be on the Belly Up Sports YouTube side in the description. Please donate. It goes to a great cause. And on that note, we're going to get out of here and have a great rest of your week. Hopefully it's not as shocking as it was today. And we'll talk to you again Saturday morning. Well, I'll be here Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Dustin will be here next Tuesday, regularly scheduled time at 6:30 p.m. So have a great week. And we'll be here Saturday morning.
Good night, everybody.